Hi, today we're going to make what I've seen called a double vision card. And that's this. You can see how it's like the eclipse, but with strips like this. Now what I've seen is she had the paper on the background. So she had two sheets of paper. She cut one and stuck it on the other one. I didn't want to, you'd need 3 sheets of paper to use up all of them, and I already messed one up. So I can't even do it that way. So yeah, I cut 3/4 of an inch instead of a 1/2 inch. It happens a lot. Um, but I wanted to put it on cardstock instead. So I put this on, if you can see that, a backing of Mossy Meadow. So we're gonna make that. Now I have to start with cutting. And I've got most of my pieces ready here. So this piece is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And I picked a piece that I wanted to showcase all on its own. And now I'm going to cut every 1/2 inch. Trying to keep them, move that over there more. Trying to keep them in order and trying not to accidentally do 3/4 of an inch like I often do. Anybody else have that problem? When they want to cut a 1/2 inch, they cut 3/4 of an inch, or when they want to cut a 1/4 of an inch, they cut a 1/2 inch. I don't know why I do that, but it's not uncommon for me. Okay. And they don't have to be perfect. You just want to keep them in order, or at least have it so that you can get your paper back in order. And somehow, I don't know, these last two come out slightly bigger. It's how I line up the paper. There's something weird about it. Okay, so I'm going to use liquid glue because I find it makes it easier for me. So I'm going to start with my first, for me it's going to be the leftmost. I'm going to line it up on my cardstock backing. A little too much glue there. You really want to get the first one in place accurately. Make sure there's nothing hanging over the edge. I had a little too much glue on that, which could cause problems for this next piece. So next, I'm going to line up the one next to it, and I'm not attaching this one. I'm just having it hold the spot so that I can get the third piece in the correct area. So then we'll line this up, which is probably the hardest part. And then I'm going to take this piece back out and set it aside for now. And then we get the next one, have it hold the spot, and hopefully not stick to my finger. Okay, stay. Okay, then we're going to put glue on this strip. And put that down, trying to line everything up. Pull out the one in between, set that aside, grab the next one. We just keep going across, and hopefully we have everything lined up. It's gonna definitely be harder to do on camera because I can't, it's harder to get my head right over these without my hair and everything getting in your way. Okay, here we go. Okay, pull that one back out. And then this one is going to be put up on dimensionals as is. Now I'm going to pull out dimensionals to put on the back, and I used a lot of these since this isn't cardstock. It's just patterned paper. I don't want it to bow, so I'm going to use a few more than I probably would have normally. Then take the backings off. And here's the key, I think. I put glue on these and then just sort of smear it around so that I have some wiggle room when I'm putting it on. Okay, slide that off the table, pick it up. Here we go. See if you can get it lined up. I think that looks pretty good. And then the next piece. Lots of dimensionals. You know what you could do also? You could cut scraps of cardstock or paper that are slightly narrower than this and put that on the back of all of them. That would give it a lot more support and not use up quite so many dimensionals if you choose. Because you could also do glue on that. More glue on the dimensionals. It's hard picking it up. Okay. That lined up, and this is where the liquid glue is very handy to give it some time to, little time to move it around. There we go. Next piece. In general, it is not a hard card. It's just making sure you keep everything in the right position and lining it up again. Oops, missed one. Get our liquid glue. It might look like I'm using more than I really am. I want it to be able to slide around but not have so much that it oozes out. Okay, that looks good. Last piece. Oops. Oh, I almost forgot the liquid glue. Oh no. And this is the hardest one. It's the one I gotta line up with the edge. Make sure that glue is all moved around. Okay, now I can pick it up. And get that on the edge. I'm gonna pick it up and run my finger along it. It looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. And I'm going to do the happy birthday because there's nothing I need more than happy birthday cards. Using Mossy Meadow ink. and the 3 banner punch. I really like this. It's so quick. I like punches for that. Although I like dies for storage. Let's clean that off because I know I will sit something in it. Okay, and because it was too plain, although I want this to be able to be used for a man, so I didn't want it like flowery or anything. So I'm just gonna cut a circle for behind it. And I'm using, whoops, this one from the Stitch Shapes, one of my favorites. Love that set. I'll die cut that out of vellum. So there we have it. Oops. Put that away. Now I am going to put my banner on my vellum first. Because, well, first of all, it's gonna, my tape is a little wider and I never get it quite centered, especially on camera. Okay, I've got it in the square here. And I'm just trying to line this up so that it's centered. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I would just like it relatively close. Okay. So there's the sentiment. I'm gonna put it on a Mossy Meadow base. And I might just do liquid glue on the back of this to speed it up a little, just because I'd want it a little drier if I was using my tape runner, just in case. And this way it helps so I can center it. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to use mini dimensionals. I could use full size, but I'd have to make sure I got them parallel. And these I can just stick them in there. They don't have to be exactly perfect across from each other, and they'll still hide behind the banner. Okay, there we go. And some adhesive backed metallic gems. I think these work for men. If you don't think so, don't use them. I'm going to use the gold ones because I still have little ones of the gold ones. I don't have the bronze or the copper, although copper's my favorite. I think I'm gonna use another big one down here. There we go. And there we have it. Double vision card. So you can see how it's popped up on the sides. Maybe you can see. See if I can get some more light down in here. But then you still have the whole image on the front. It's just a little more interesting than pattern paper flat on the background. So thanks for watching.